Alright, so, hey yo, my fellow Rumble Maniacs. It's Mr. Rumble Roses here, and welcome to another little random video involving Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. And today I wanted to show some builds off that I kind of made, and just I was doing a little doing some stuff for fun and everything, and it kind of has a bit of a theme going, and it kind of fits with the theme of what we're dressed as. So, for those that don't know what the fuck this is basically Guardian donning the Sunlight Knight attire, or Sunlight Knight armor, from Dark Souls, aka being Knight Solaire. Now, whenever I play Guardian, I am always known to be the Knight Solaire, the Solaire bird, or Guardian Solaire as I like to call him. And for the many hours of times that I've played this game and all the relics and stuff that I've gotten, everything, I think I might have found out, I think I might have come up with around like 3 builds at most to kind of turn Guardian to a bit of a Knight Solaire type of, bit of a thing. So, we'll select him real quick and then we'll just show off some of the builds. I actually did talk with a certain someone about this, which I'll get into in just a little bit, but I'm gonna show off the builds first. So, first build involves Guardian's Chalice, which has a blue slot, a yellow slot, and a white slot, where the white slot is a freebie slot. So, the first thing is the blue Grand Drizzly scene. So, it has max HP increase for each great enemy defeated at a great church, arcane increase for each great enemy defeated at a ruin, and max FP increase for each Sorcerer's Rise unlocked. Next is Dark Knight of the Champion. Oh, by the way, if anyone wants to know, you can be able to get this from the collector signboard. I don't know if you have to get the DLC to get it, but that's where I got it. You just go outside the little area and you can find it. Next up is Dark Knight of the Champion, which you get from defeating Everark Fulgor, or Everdark Jeff Knight, as I like to call him. It has increased maximum stamina, boost attack power of add infinity attacks, and defeating enemies with more than arc gauge. And lastly is a yellow polished luminous scene, where it has dormant powers to discover straight swords, and ultimate auto charge +2. So, I'm going to explain everything as best I can as to, why I did all this. So, for the blue relic, um, sorry, I don't know if they're going to show up on the thing, but my DVD game has gotten updated. But anyway, so on the blue relic, max HP increase for each great enemy defeated at a great church. From what I've gathered as far as like intel goes, and and all the stuff and some of the stuff that I've seen, Knight Solaire is going to have like some good vigor, aka health. So I figured, it's like what I was like, hey, if I'm gonna have do a little thing of having HP, then I can go for something that can possibly increase my health each time. Max FP was the other thing, because Solaire has Solaire has a bit of a faith, has some faith in his build. So you get more likely to be able to do like some spells and incantations and stuff at most. Now, the next one is mostly for the increased maximum stamina because again from what I've seen in red, Solaire has like a nice amount of stamina, and with Fulgor's relics and stuff like that, it always has that. So it's pretty much like it's the one main place to get it. And then this one right here is a little thing to help with getting straight swords, because Solaire's main weapon is the Sunlight Straight Sword, even though that you cannot be able to get Sunlight Straight Sword in this game, but you can be able to get like other little weapons and stuff like that. You can be able to use that, to you know, to deal with enemies and stuff like that. Especially like if you wanted to maybe, you know, like have like two straight swords, and you can build like the power stance and whatever. So yeah, that's one of my builds. This is the other one where it's the Sealed Guardian's Urn, which has 2 yellows and a red. This one has max HP, increased resources, rise unlocked, stamina recovery upon landing attacks, and physical attack on +2. Got the Apollo's Imminent scene again, and then we have the red Grand Burning scene, where it has HP restoration upon straight sword attacks, draw enemy attention while guarding, and improve initial standard attack. So, max FP, you know, has a little bit of, Solaire going to have a little bit of faith, apparently. And, you know, if I can, you know, if you're able to find, you know, like a decent amount of Sorcerer's Rises during your expeditions, you know, then you can be able to have possibly like a good blue health bar. Stamina recovery upon landing attacks. You know, it's one of those, I guess you could say it's one of those, like, you know, constellation things where it's like, hey, you know, I can be able to, you know, get some recovery up on my stamina each time I, you know, get an attack off. So I thought that was pretty good. Physical attack at +2. You know, a little bit, I guess, like a little bit in the strength department, I guess. You know, to each their own. Red Gram, and for this one, it has a little thing of HP restoration upon straight sword attacks. So, you know, every time you use a straight sword, you know, weapon, you will get a little bit of health back. Draw enemy attention while guarding. To me, at least, I have to do a little thing where I still have like my starting shield, so like be able to like do that. Maybe like, you know, draw some enemies, you know, towards me or whatever, to maybe like, you know, pull them away from my teammates at most. And improve initial standard attack. You know, that was, you know, the best little thing I, you know, had as far as like my relics and stuff went. So yeah. And the third build that I have, which I actually saved, the famous one I just called the Solaire build. So this one involves there's like Dark Knight of the Fathom, which you get from defeating Everdark Augur, and then you have the yellow relic, which has improved mind and faith but reduces vigor. So, you know, you can get that from the collector signboard. It's one of the character stat changing relics and everything. So, you know, I think it's pretty obvious, you know, the increased maximum HP. You know, you can go to have like a good amount of health for, you know, your runs. You know, you can, and of course, you know, with the Fulgor's relic, you know, good thing of stamina, and you know, you can have a bit more mind and faith through your build, and not have to really worry about your reduced vigor because you have, you know, Dark Knight of the Fathom and everything. So, you know, kind of like, I guess you said maybe like balances out, maybe it gives a little bit more than the other. So it's kind of like a mix of like, you know, like a good thing of health, good thing of stamina, and having the ability to have, you know, like a bit of a faith build. So, yeah, I figured, those are the builds that I've made and everything. I know that Guardian's known to be the halberd boy, you know, and all that, and you know, like, because like I know everyone has, you know, like their standard preferences, you know, for, you know, for builds, for like weapons and stuff like that. You know, but this is just one of those little things where it's like, you know, I made it for fun. You know, you can have like you could possibly have something that, you know, be kind of replicating, you know, like you know, the look, you know, the build of the character that you're playing as or cosplaying as or whatever you want to call it. It's like, you know, in this case, you know, being, you know, Guardian Solaire, as I like to call them, you know, like we'll have something that kind of like, you know, would kind of like be as close as replicating to, you know, what Knight Solaire would be like if maybe, you know, like he got reincarnated or something like that, and he became like, you know, like part bird, or like part birdman or whatever. So, yeah. But let me know what your thoughts are on the builds, and you know, down in the comments below. And of course, you know, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you hopefully. I'll see you all hopefully in the next video or live stream. But until then, as always, please take care of yourselves and have a good week or weekend.